Itoagba Festival. A rite of passage like no other. As rich and as old in its existence as Obosi itself.
Over the years, the Itoagba Obosi Festival has attracted prominent national and international figures, and 2009 was no exception, with the attendance of the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, His Excellency Mr. Bob Dewar, on the invitation of the former Secretary General of the Commonwealth. I had the rare opportunity to speak with him at the Obosi residence of Chief Emeka Anyaoku. It's my pleasure, honor and privilege to be seated here with the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, His Excellency, Mr. Bob Dewar. It's an honor to have you here with us, sir.
It's great to be here, thank you.
How have you found your stay in Nigeria so far? Let me ask you that first.
It's great. I've been here just over a year, and I've been traveling around a lot in this really huge country with all its diversity. I've really enjoyed meeting particularly the people of Nigeria, who are great, and I've had a very stimulating, rewarding time.
Well, that's very interesting. Now, you've obviously, like you said, been around Nigeria, you've experienced a bit of the culture. How would you describe the scope and depth of Nigeria's socio-cultural environment compared to perhaps the rest of the world, which I know you've widely traveled?
I've actually lived most of my life in Africa. I think Nigeria is very, very rich culturally, and people are very proud of that, which is great. In fact, we in the UK are also a multicultural country and very proud of that. But I think Nigeria is kind of Africa writ large. You've got 250 more different languages, you've got different backgrounds and histories, and people are very proud of that in many, many different ways, and they show it. And this kind of festival here in Obosi is actually just a demonstration of that. It's very rich, very strong, and I think even though in all of us around the world we're reaching out to have more regional integration and that sort of thing, if it's based on local roots, that's really important.
Have you been here in Obosi before?
I haven't, no. In fact, it's the first time, but I've been kindly invited by Chief Emeka Anyaoku, whom I knew before coming. He's a great statesman and former Commonwealth Secretary General, so he very kindly invited me. I thought it's a tremendous opportunity to come and see the kingdom for the first time. Well,
we're having the Itoagba Obosi Festival now. Yes. Does your presence here have anything to do with that directly or indirectly?
Well, I'm just a visitor, and I'll obviously be learning a lot about the cultural traditions. I think it is important to travel around Nigeria and to try and understand and relate to the different traditions, the different traditional societies and their traditions. And that's part of Nigeria, and that's part of, I think, us having a partnership with Nigeria, understanding that. We've got a long historical tradition between the UK and Nigeria of friendship and partnership. But it's part of my job, I think, to go around this very large federal nation and understand a bit better and get to know the individuals in the different parts of the country.
That's very interesting. Now the Itogbo Festival is all about longevity. How do you see it? How do you find it? The notion of celebrating such a festival.
I think in this case, as I understand it, you've got a bigger group coming together to celebrate than in previous occasions, and I think that that is probably reflected around the world a bit in terms of longevity and better, shall we say, better access to healthcare and nutrition and so on and so forth. But all of us at a certain age, I don't know how old you are, but we always do want to meet our peers of our generations, and these are tremendously important occasions. And when you keep alive the old traditions, and you have a certain pride in what you've achieved, which is based on what your families have given you and what your community has given you, and what you want to give back to them, then I think these occasions are very healthy and very important occasions in any society. And so I'm glad to be here, just as a spectator, just as a visitor, just as a guest.
Well, that's very, very interesting. Now, you've been in Nigeria now for about 14 months, if I'm right. What do you enjoy most about being in Nigeria or living in Nigeria for now? And also on a probably parallel but opposite level, what do you loathe most about being in Nigeria?
Well, I don't loathe anything about Nigeria. It's really, really interesting country at an interesting time in its evolution and development. As I said at the beginning, what is really striking and is really something that you have to visit Nigeria in order to understand is the people. Incredible talent, incredible potential for anything. And the different cultures from the different parts of Nigeria are very, very positive. And you know, for a foreigner, you get treated with tremendous friendship. You're always made welcome. Nigerians are always smiling. It's great. You know, it's one of the 2 happiest nations in the world, according to some survey. It's an amazing place. So that's I think what I find most rewarding. Making contacts, making friendships, understanding the country, perhaps trying in our own way to create partnerships and positive change to help Nigeria go in the way that the country wants to go, in a positive sense. I think the challenges here are many, but one of the things that struck me was that there are a lot of people who are seeking a better life. And we hope to help make a difference to that. But I think there are a lot of people who are hoping for better access to education, better access to health, better access to trainings that they can go on in their careers, but who are still relatively poor. And I think that that's one area where I think that you do see differences, you do see extremes almost in the society, and I'm very much hoping that all the different levels of this federal government will be working ever more to improve the quality of life of all Nigerians. Second thing I've found is sometimes a little bit of lack of concern almost for the environment. I don't know whether that's true or not. I shouldn't generalize because it's a huge country. But traditionally, I'm sure Nigerians were very close to the environment and felt very strongly about it. Yeah. But to some extent, there's parts of Nigeria is a throwaway culture. Maybe that's the oil and gas industry for you. You know, providing lots of revenue. To some extent, there hasn't been sufficient attention to the deforestation issues, to the and the desert encroachment and so on. And those sort of issues are, I think, very well worthwhile all Nigerians actually focusing on, because climate change is a global concern for all of us, and something that we are very connected to Nigeria with. But I'm sure that will change as awareness grows.
Right, very interesting. Thanks for that. Now, from your perspective, what's your opinion of international news reports and generally held beliefs about Nigeria, both negative and positive again?
Right. Well, I think Nigeria has an unfortunate reputation sometimes because of the news reporting, which tends, I mean, it's reporting on any country looking for a story. It tends to concentrate on the negative, if there is a negative to report. So I do think that it's important to come to Nigeria, see Nigeria, meet Nigerians, understand Nigeria, and then you're in a different plane altogether. So there's an issue there in terms of trying to change that perception, I think. And just to say, I'm delighted. It's really an honour. It's tremendous to be able to live in Nigeria. We're very lucky in our High Commission to do that. Your country's got a great future, and I'm delighted to be here at this very special ceremony today, which is great for me, and I'm going to be learning a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, and I wish you all the best success as you continue your tenure in office.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ọba biri di, ọgini egwu adịrị ya.